Good day everyone. I will going to report the marketing in a global environment in the spotlight of entering the global arena, marketing in a global environment, and ethical issues in the global marketplace. Yan, so after makapag-desisyon ng isang kumpanya na pumasok sa isang global marketplace, a person who manage the company or the manager dapat alamin kung ano bang method of international involvement yung nararapat or pinaka-the best para sa kanilang company strategic goals. And this method include exporting, franchising, licensing, joint ventures, strategic alliance, and direct foreign investment. Exporting, ito naman yung kumpanya na nagpa-process ng isang goods or services na binibenta naman sa ibang bansa. So, marami sa iba't ibang kumpanya ang mas pinipili yung exporting method kasi mas maliit yung chance dito ng risk. And marami ding natututunan yung mga firms manager about ins and outs of international businesses. So, for example, if yung company mo is about clothes and most of binebenta mo is mga modern clothes, then nagbenta ka sa ibang bansa, tapos nalaman mo or nagkaroon ka ng new outlook about business kasi nalaman mo na sa ibang bansa pala is mabenta rin pala yung mga traditional clothes. So, hindi ka lang magpo-focus sa mga modern clothes kasi nga nalaman mo na parang ay pwede rin pala yung traditional clothes sa ibang bansa. Kaya yung business mo pagkakaroon ng new outlook. Kaya doon sinasabi na goods yung exporting kasi yung mga firms manager nagkakaroon sila ng more idea about ins and outs ng mga international business. And so, franchising is a business strategy kung saan yung mga may-ari is pinapayagan yung ibang tao na mag-operate gamit yung brand's name, yung brand's trademark, trade name, and yung mga business system. Also, kapalit naman nun is yung fee or yung pera na binabayad doon sa may-ari talaga ng business. So, for example, sa McDo, dito sa Pilipinas, ang franchising fee ng McDo sa atin is 1,150,000 tama. And then yung investment capital naman is 45 million to 60 million. So, licensing. So, mapapansin natin yung licensing and franchising is parang halos magkapares sila. Pero sa franchising kasi is mas nakapaloob dito lahat-lahat ng business operation. Samantalang sa licensing naman is specific aspect lang or usually pa nga yung mga trademark lang ng business. Joint venture. Ito naman kapag yung 2 or more business is nag-combine yung mga resources nila, sharing risk and development also. But joint venture is a organization which form for some temporary purpose. Or in short, hindi siya permanente. So, yung advantage naman ng joint venture is katulad nga ng sinabi ko kanina is yung sharing risk and maraming access sa mga bagong market, distribution of networks, mas na-increase yung capacity, and yung sharing cost also, hindi lang naman yung risk. Tapos, nakaka-access din ng mga bagong knowledge and expertise, including yung mga specialized staff. Yeah, so eto naman kapag yung dalawang kumpanya is nanggaling sa magkaibang bansa, is nagkasundong mag-invest sa isang bagay na parehas nilang pakikinabangan. So, for example, kung I believe that all of us are already aware what is Uber and Spotify. And these two was entered into a strategic alliance which they allow Uber riders to connect to their Spotify account and stream music while watching a ride. Direct foreign investment. So, sinasabi nila na ito daw yung the most involved and pinaka-risk way para sa isang business to get involved in the international arena. Kasi sa foreign direct investment or FDI is ini-involve dito yung pag-establish ng isang operation doon sa foreign country. And nagko-consider din dito ng mga automobile manufacturers. Forms of global competition. Global competition can come from the international firms, multinational firms, and transnational firms. So, kahit anong firms na nag-o-operate under global levels is kinaklasify na siya bilang international firms, regardless pa sa mga intensity of the involvement nila. So sa international firms, it can further be classified as either also as an multinational firms or transnational firms. Pero the classification is always depends on the business structure and products or services na ina-offer nila. Marketing in a global environment. Adopting marketing strategies for the global marketplace. Until this point, we've mostly been learning about the bigger picture decision that a company must make when deciding whether to enter the global marketplace. So once na yung company is magkaroon na ng decision, a marketing manager should determine kung ano ba yung pinaka-effective na paraan to market their products sa bagong market. So, dapat ma-determine nila kung paano ba nila maibebenta yung produkto nila doon sa bagong market na papasukan nila. So, strategies is really important talaga in adopting marketing in the global marketplace. It's not just only about na pumasok ka na and then yun na lang yun. Because when the business entered the global marketplace, you should also adopt the marketing strategies that will totally help your product or service. Standardized global marketing. A standardized global marketing strategy, ito naman is yung kapag yung isang kumpanya is gumagamit lang siya ng pare-parehas ng marketing sa magkakaibang or gumagamit lang siya ng pare-parehas ng marketing sa lahat ng markets na pinapasok niya. So, example nito is yung Coca-Cola. So, mapapansin natin na sa lahat ng market na merong Coca-Cola is pare-parehas lang ng mga boards na nakikita natin na nakasulat lang sila sa red, ganon, na bang sa red background kung saan nare-recognize naman siya ng mga tao. So for me, yung advantage naman ng standardized global marketing is from the word standard is parang, especially kung hindi ka naman kilalang business pa, is mas madali kang mare-recognize ng mga customers kasi nga standard na yung strategy na ginagawa mo sa market mo. Adapted global marketing. Conversely, a company may not find success in a one-size-fits-all marketing strategy. In this case, the company may choose an adapted global marketing strategy. So, example naman ito is yung Netflix. So, for example, diba, alam naman natin na yung Netflix is nag-o-offer sila ng iba't ibang content or iba't ibang movies and shows na talaga namang nakukuha talaga yung pintig ng mga customers. And tsaka 'di ba parang everyday meron silang mga bagong movies which yung markets kasi ng Netflix is nagbe-base siya dun sa customer demands every country. The purpose of marketing in a global environment. Now that the company has chosen either a standardized or adapted marketing strategy for its global operation, it's time to consider each of the four-piece global marketing. We have product, price, place, and promotion. Straight product extension. Ito naman yung strategy kung saan mini-maintain lang yung same product whether it will going to sell at our home country or sa foreign markets. Kasi 'di ba, parang sa standardized marketing strategy, meron din naman mga products na globally known na hindi na kinakailangan mga modification in order na mabenta sila or makilala. Product adaptation. From the word adaptation, ito naman yung sample ng mga products na kinoconnect naman sa mga culture or sa local culture ng isang country. So, di ba yung mga iba't ibang country naman, yung mga manufacturer yun is may iba't ibang style or mga things na naka-base naman sa local culture's preference. Product invention. So, the most involved product strategy is through inventing a new product in the new market. So from the word invention, ito naman yung pagka-create ng bagong produkto para sa global market. Price. When pricing a product in a foreign market, there are other factors to evaluate and to be considered because these will all have impact on earnings and profit. So, yung mga kailangan i-consider and evaluate is yung mga tariffs, mga local, especially the local economy, yung shipping, and other factors that need to be considered. Is distribution of channels. So, sa place naman, when marketers are considering distribution channels in the foreign markets, they may find themselves with limited option compared to their home country. Kasi di ba pag sinabing home country, parang in our home country, mas malaki yung mga choices and advantage na makukuha natin. Pero pag doon naman sa mga foreign markets, syempre, parang mas onti yung mga choices and retailers or any business factors na makukuha natin sa country na yon. Kasi 'di ba, pwedeng sa bansa mo mabenta yung mga damit na traditional pero sa ibang bansa pala is modern pala yung clothes na mas mabenta sa kanila. That's why place distribution channels is really important in global marketing. I believe na sa mga business or company, meron talagang mga marketing managers na sila yung nag-iisip or nagdi-determine kung ano ba yung mga product or kung ano ba yung mga strategy, promotion na pwede nilang magawa in order na ma-sell yung product nila sa mga new markets na papasokin nila. And they also must determine the best course of action for the promotion strategy. Example, yung Coca-Cola, tulad nga na sinabi ko sa kanila, hindi nagbabago yung name ng Coca-Cola. Parang it remains unchanged. Pero kung mapapansin natin, yung mga promotion and slogan nila sa bawat bansa is iba-iba. Ethical issues in the global marketplace. Outsourcing, so sinasabi naman dito is yung kapag yung kumpanya is kung mag-hard sila ng ibang kumpanya para gawin yung trabaho nila. So sinasabi rin dito na yung advantage daw ng outsourcing is mas maliles yung gastos ng isang company. Child labor is one of the biggest problem in our world. And usually nangyayari ito sa bansang Amerika, kung saan maraming mga kabataan na nagtatrabaho agad kahit wala pa naman sa wastong edad. So, para lamang kumita ng pera. So, alam naman natin na bawal ang tumanggap ng mga empleyado or mag-hire sa ating company or business yung mga underage na tao. Kasi pwede tayong makasuhan and pwede rin kasing maepektuhan or sinasabi nila na parang respect daw yung human rights ng tao na yun. Dumping, ito naman yung pagbebenta ng isang produkto sa ibang bansa kung saan mas mababa yung halaga nito kaysa sa dapat na presyo nito. So, syempre, maraming ibang kumpanya yung naeepektuhan nito kasi pwede silang mapatigil or magsara kasi nga, 'di ba? Parang ikaw bilang tao, mas bibilin mo yung produkto na mura kaysa naman sa mahal. Kaya dumping, kaya yung dumping is not a good way kasi parang is not a equal strategy in other people or other business people na maaaring makalaban mo in the future. Workplace diversity is composed ng iba't ibang uri ng empleyado mo na may iba't ibang uri ng personality like different race, gender, ethnicity, and sexual orientation. So, sa isang company na kailangan may equality tayo na parang even though we are different, we should have a same opportunity na binibigay sa isang empleyado or natatanggap natin sa isang company. Nang sa gayon ay mas maging success yung line ng company mo. We really need a fair treatment sa lahat ng empleyado. Bribery and corruption. So dito naman alam naman natin na pinagbabawal ito lalo na sa bansa natin which is the Philippines. Pero aminin natin na nangyayari pa rin ito sa lahat ng bansa, even in our country. So maunlad man or umuunlad pa lang yung bansa is nangyayari pa rin talaga yung bribery and corruption. Katulad sa isang business, minsan hindi natin may iwasan gawin yung mga bagay na na kailangan nating sumugal or mag-take ng risk para ma-develop and mas maging maayos ang ating business. But we should always remember that we should always be a equal dapat lagi tayong equal sa kahit anumang bagay. Kasi ito yung unang-unang magiging rason para maging success yung business or yung company na meron ka.